Now, here are the 6 most common customer service mistakes that you are making. Number 1, slow response times, right? In the age of instant gratification and getting your Amazon package next day to your household, customers are expecting a very fast response time. So a delayed reply to a customer question can cost you a sale. So there's no way you can have just an email on your website and that be your way to interact with your customers. Research shows that 75% of consumers expect help within 5 minutes, and email can be a little bit slow. So if you're not responding promptly, you're likely losing conversions. So how do we fix this? The easiest thing you can do is implement a chatbot for quick responses, something that potentially automates maybe some of the responses or makes it a little bit easier for you to navigate some of the questions that you're going to get. Now, you can do this manually by doing something like Shopify Inbox, and it's a free app. It's made by Shopify, and it gives you some options in there for quick responses and FAQs and track your order and all that kind of stuff, which is nice. I think in the future it's going to get maybe a little bit better with Shopify Magic and the Sidekick integration that they're also talking about. So hopefully it will get better in the future. But right now, what I think would make maybe more sense would be something like Joofy, where it's a chatbot, but it's also fused with ChatGPT, where it automatically learns everything about your store, your products, your about page, and it can answer questions automatically without you having to answer every single question that comes in. So to me, it makes a little bit more sense to do something like Joofy, especially if you are a bigger brand, it's already established, you're getting a lot of traffic, and you're potentially getting a lot of questions, right? This will alleviate a lot of your time. And the best thing about it is that you can also train the AI model to answer questions depending on the tone of voice or depending on your brand overall and how you speak to your customers. Number 2 is ignoring the mobile shoppers. About 79% of users have made a purchase online using a mobile device. Yet, many of you are neglecting to optimize that customer service area, right, for your mobile users. So potentially having a phone number where users can actually send you a quick text message right there from their phones is actually next level, and almost nobody is doing anything like that. The other thing with mobile is mobile experiences in general, right? We tend to forget about load times for specifically mobile devices. We also tend to forget about how does the navigation actually look like for mobile? How does the bottom section of your website look like with all those little floating buttons and offers, right? How does that look on mobile? Those are all things to consider, and that's all part of the customer experience, right? And that's all part of, if you think about it, like really the customer service, right? You're doing them a service for having a very clean navigation on mobile. So how do we fix this? Just like we talked about, look at your mobile speed on Shopify, compare it with your desktop version, see if there's any room for improvement there. And with mobile speed, a lot of people tend to forget about the rest of the pages, right? They tend to do the home page, then they forget about the collection and the product page. Those are all the 3 main pages that I will look into in terms of speed. I would also make sure that you are looking at your website from an actual phone and not looking at the website from the customizer here that you have on Shopify. Because on the phone, you're gonna get a slightly different experience than what you get on your desktop that's sort of pretending, right, to be a mobile phone. A lot of times, really, you get an extended view of mobile when sometimes it gets cut off quite a bit higher on your phone versus what you see here as the preview. And lastly, make sure that your chat button, that your loyalty points button, that your potentially accessibility button, like all those floating buttons that usually show on desktop. On desktop, you have a lot of room, right? A lot of real estate. But on mobile, you don't. So please make sure that you have the opportunity to potentially change those or change how they look or the placement of them on mobile, because you don't want a lot of things just covering the website. Now, number 3 is unclear return policies. Either vague or confusing return policies is a massive, massive red flag, especially for clothing store owners. In fact, 67% of consumers check the return policy before making a purchase. So if your policy is hard to find or if it's difficult to understand, potential buyers are going to bail. So how do we fix this? You have to make your return policy One, easy to find. Make sure that you have a link there at the footer. Also, make sure that your product page, right underneath the add to cart button, you have some drop down menus. You should have your description, you should have your shipping policy, and you should have your returns policy. Make it easy. Do 3-4 bullet points and highlight what are some of the things that you have within your return policy. And if they need to learn a little bit more, want more details, read more and send them to the full policy page. But you have to do the highlights and you have to have it in multiple places. I would say just on the footer and then also having it within their product page are two great ways to do that. Also, you can consider doing some easy sort of no hassle trust badges, right? All throughout the website where you can include some of the information about whether you accept returns or not. Now, coming in number 4 is lack of personalization. Customers expect to be treated as individuals, not numbers. So generic responses or a lack of tailored support can make customers feel undervalued, right? Leading to lost sales. So how do we fix this? You have to use the customer data to personalize the responses. A lot of times when customers are reaching out via, for example, Shopify inbox, you have the opportunity to pull up all their information and everything that you have about them so that you don't necessarily ask questions that you already have the information and the data for. Same with something like Joofy, right? Joofy has the opportunity for you to grab some of the information and have that reference data, right? Their name, their past orders, have they reached out to support before, right? Some of their preferences. These are all things that I would make sure that you're paying attention to anytime that you answer any questions for your customers, whether via inbox, Joofy, or email or SMS. Number 5 is no post-purchase support. So many Shopify merchants focus solely on the pre-purchase interactions, right? It's that bundle, that upsell. Let me take care of you with this, this, and that. Let's make sure that we have all best practices on the product page. But post-purchase support is also equally crucial, right? So failing to follow up with customers or address issues after the sale can hurt your reputation, can hurt future sales, and it's so hard, right, to get that initial customer that once you get them, you kind of get complacent. But that one customer that you got is the one that you have to keep incentivizing and keep helping so that they come back for more. So how do we fix this? We have to offer some kind of proactive post-purchase support, right? One thing that I will encourage you to please do is go to your settings, go to your notifications, and right there will give you a whole list of emails that Shopify automatically sends for you. These are transactional emails. These transactional emails are very, very generic, right? We talked about personalization right before. If your business has a very unique way of saying things, right? Even if you don't, let's forget about that. Every business is unique, so you need to go in there and change all these templates to make sure that it matches your tone of voice as a brand. So shipping updates, the delivery confirmations. Also on top of that, if someone signs up for email marketing, that welcome series of emails that they get, all that needs to be more personalized. You need to be available essentially for the customer, right? It shouldn't be all sell, sell, sell. Make it easy, right, for the customers to reach out to you if they're having any issues after receiving their actual order. Lastly, coming in number 6 is neglecting customer feedback, right? Ignoring or dismissing customer feedback is a sure way to lose sales. Studies show that 52% of consumers believe companies need to act on feedback provided by their customer, whether good or bad. So if you're not listening to your customers, they'll assume that you just don't care. So how do we fix this? So you need to actively seek out feedback. We talk about Judge Me a lot because it's a free app that allows you to automatically send that email to request some feedback and some reviews. But you need to actively be seeking out for feedback, right? So beyond just the reviews via email, you could also do surveys. You could also use social media to gather some of this feedback. And using this feedback to actually improve your customer service and let the customers know that you're actually making changes based on their input is going to be absolutely huge. Like, put yourself in the customer's shoes, right? If I'm a customer and I reach out to you about, hey, I got this problem on the website and this, or this problem about your product, and you actually listen and you post this publicly and you say, we're going to fix this, and then a week later, hopefully, you actually fix the problem, like, that makes me feel amazing. That makes me feel like I am a VIP of this company because I'm helping them grow as a company and they're actually listening to their customers. Like, this is by far one of the #1 ways to enhance loyalty and boost sales and get super customers and super fans of your brand. So if you're not addressing any of these 6 common customer service mistakes, you can actually create a better experience overall for your shoppers. You can build stronger relationships, and you can actually make more sales. And if you're interested in pushing that envelope even further of like, what are going to be the best things that I can do for my store right now in terms of conversion, you need to check out this video next.